Hey everybody, welcome to the Homestead. So I was planning on doing a different video today. I had things set up the way I needed it to, and I could not find something I needed to find. So today I was going to be doing a video on fixing our stovetop up. Our stove, our wood stove that we have here on the homestead, after a winter of using it, because we use it every single day to heat up water, obviously to heat the home, it just sees a lot of wear and tear. And by putting water pots on it, there's water on the pots and it drips down sometimes on the top of the stove, and so it gets a small coat of rust at certain places on the top of the stove. And so after the winter time, you need to restore that stove. And so they sell products like this called Stove Bright, and it's got like a bazillion warnings all over it that tell you how you're going to die a horrible, painful death if you use their product. I'm not kidding you. There must be like 40 different warnings all on the label. Every other word is warning you're going to die, warning you're going to get a disease, warning you're going to it's warning this is toxic. It's insane why anyone would use this product at all. And the fact that I'm glad they're honest. That's good, right? So anyway, there's another product that's sold by Lehman's that is more in line with the product that people used to use 100 years ago on their wood stoves for restoration every year. And so it's that product that I want to share. The problem was I went to go pull it out today, or actually yesterday, and I couldn't find it. Where did this go? And then, so this week, I was really planning on, because there was some nice weather, out to do the man spray video that I've been trying to finally get recorded. And I couldn't do that either because I could not find my man spray bottle, I believe the 4-ounce bottle. These are 1-ounce bottles. And so the 4-ounce bottle that I was using, I cannot find it. I don't know where it went to. I asked the kids, I said, where's my man spray? And they don't know. So my nose is itchy. It means someone's talking about me. Anyway, I can't find that man spray product, and I don't know what to do about it. So I don't know. Anyway, I've got the Tannerite ready for that video. It's going to be a fantastic video, very explosive video, and I can't find my man spray. So other than the sampler that they sent me. Anyway, if you're interested in man spray, you can check them out at manspray.us. Completely natural deodorant, family-based business. Totally support them. They've been a very good friend of our family. Manspray.us. Check them out. I will be doing a video with that at some point. I just ordered a replacement bottle that I can use for that, and it's going to be a fantastic video. You guys are going to love it. Okay. With that, I said, you know what? What am I going to do today then? I want to do a video, and I'm kind of readjusting my schedule right now to better fit in more time for videos. And so I've moved, Jamie had a schedule, and so I've been going with that for a while, but I have to develop a routine that works for just me since I'm taking on so much more responsibilities at this time. So I'm moving homeschool into the evening. And I know some people are like, oh, you can't do that. Kids learn best in the morning time. And I agree. That probably it might be true. I don't know. So far, it's working out okay, and the kids are doing fine. And so, because I feel better about doing videos in the morning time, and that's normally when I do them. And by the time the afternoon rolls around and school's done, and I've had lunch, I just feel a little more spent. So it's harder for me to get the gumption and the energy that you enjoy so much up to do the videos. And so I've got to figure out something. And so I'm still at this point of developing a routine. And, there's been so many people who have told me, Zach, it's going to take you a year. You need to take a year and just develop yourself, relearn some things, and because it takes time. And so that's what I'm doing. And I'm still trying to get that routine down. And I appreciate everyone who's been praying for our family and sending us good wishes and encouragement. So today, what am I going to do? I said, well, today I'll just do, someone had asked about doing a current events video, and I said, that would be a good idea. Let's go ahead and do that. Just right off the bat, so much of the news is all about the COVID stuff and the looters and the whole economy. Everything is just a mess right now. I really, I know people are dying from this epidemic or whatever you want to call it. supposed epidemic, whatever it is. I know some people are dying. I get that. I have had people on my friends list. There are people who have been friends of friends or whatever who have passed away, and that is sad. But the reality of this is you have shut down, you have completely destroyed an economy, and most people's ways of life. You have completely altered life as we know it for an issue that has a 99% survivability rate. And that's completely insane. I'm just sorry. If you don't agree with me, fine. I can still be friends with you, but I think it's insane, completely, absolutely insane, historically speaking, to shut down and destroy an entire country and nation in their economy for an illness that has a 99% survivor rate. And like, well, Zach, if you look at the actual numbers put out by the CDC, it's only 95% survivability rate. Oh, big deal. Like that's a giant improvement. But we know that so many people who have not been tested have had this disease and have been fine. Case in point is this George guy, whatever his name. What's his name again? The guy I can't breathe. Whatever his name is. See, I don't pay attention to this news. I just try to avoid the news. The I can't breathe guy. The autopsy said he had COVID. He wasn't suffering. He had no symptoms, but he had it. He had the antibodies. They were in his system. George Floyd, that's it, George Floyd. He had the antibodies for COVID. He was never tested. See, when you take into account the probability of all the people who have had this and have recovered, we're looking at probably a 99.8% survivability rate. We have destroyed an entire economy. Never throughout history has that happened. Never. Throughout Spanish flu, some of the worst epidemics that have gone through, the Black Plague, never has that happened. You just went on with life and you did the best you could. You did the best you could. But see, there is a president right now that so many people want to destroy, and they would rather see their country burn to ashes than this man get reelected. And, again, I didn't vote for him in the last election. I just didn't vote. I didn't vote. But I tell you what, with the amount of abortion clinics that have been shut down throughout this country since he took office, I will go vote for Donald Trump in the next election. I will do it. I will do it. Because that alone earns my vote. That alone. Polls. I really think, Zach, the polls say Trump's probably going to lose in a landslide. Biden's like up 20 points, 10 points in every poll. There's just no way he's going to win. You know what? They said the same thing about Hillary, and that was all a bunch of garbage. Okay? And what I think they're setting this up to be, Biden was just out yesterday saying, listen, I seriously doubt he's going to have a problem with leaving the White House when he's beat. And the military will have to escort him out of the White House. They're setting this up. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm just, looking at the chessboard like I try to explain to people. That's what I do. I look at the chessboard, see how the pieces are set up, and then try to predict the next move. I think they're setting this up so that they can claim, because the polls were such in favor of Biden, that when Biden loses in a landslide, they'll say it was all a scam, it was all cheated, Trump cheated, it was all the Russians. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what they're setting this up to do. Trump, like him or hate him, I don't care. All politicians, I don't like any politician. But one of the reasons I know so many people like him is because he's not a politician. He's never been a politician. And you know what? I think it'd be great if you could have Congress be like a lottery system. Kind of like when you get that notice in the mail for court, jury duty notice, and you get that in the mail. Oh man. So I had to put my life on hold. They're going to pay me minimum wage to go sit in a courtroom. I have to cancel taking the kids to soccer practice or taking the kids to this or that for school. I got to make new arrangements because now I got to be down at downtown at the courthouse. Oh, hope they let me go. Maybe I'll go into the courtroom and act completely crazy, and then they won't make me show up. And so you think of ways to get out of jury duty. I think it should be the same way for Congress. I think that's one of the founding fathers, I think, were brilliant in their way of setting up a republic. in a lot of ways. But this was one way they just did not anticipate. Career politicians. I think if you had people like Joe the plumber or, Susie the baker or whatever, Susie the seamstress, whatever, I don't know, whatever, make up whatever occupation. They go out to the mailbox one day, they open it up and they're like, oh, Congress. I got to go to Congress for the next 2 years. Good night. Is there any way I can get out of this? Because these are average Joe Schmo taxpayers. It needs to be people who are taxpayers, people who own their home, even renters. I mean, I don't care. Just someone who, as long as they pay taxes, that should be like the thing. You have to pay taxes in order to get that beyond the rules for that notice. And you just have average schmoes go in there and then they vote. I think that would be a much better solution than what we have today. And you wouldn't have people like Nancy Pelosi or even Mitch McConnell, who's been in politics forever. His wife is, a lobbyist. All these people, both parties. I think Congress should be like a lottery system, like jury duty. I mean, leave a comment below. Let me know if you think that's great. Put a like in there. Hit that thumbs up button. Let me know what you think. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys. I usually hang out on Drudge Report. I'm gonna go ahead and get the screen up here real quick so you can see. So I like Drudge Report. I hang out on Drudge. I check Drudge, a few times a day. But really, Drudge has gone so far left-leaning that I now go to the Liberty Daily. It's a much more conservative news aggregator is really what it is. It posts links to news articles around the world. And so it's very conservative. Drudge has gone so far left. And really the reason is because Matt Drudge sold the Drudge Report for probably a huge amount of money. And they have consistently gone more left and left and left. So Matt Drudge no longer runs Drudge Report. But new websites like the Liberty Daily, which I find absolutely amazing when it comes to news headlines, is just a much better place. So this is where we're going. And so if you're interested in news headlines, conservative, with a conservative-leaning aggregator like Drudge, this is it, the Liberty Daily. First one, Chaz in Seattle has a warlord in charge, and Jay Inslee supposedly knows nothing about it. So if you haven't heard about this going on right now, Seattle is under siege, and they have, I guess some of the looters there have taken over like six square city blocks, something like that. And the governor, that started on Tuesday, and the governor today said, oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, really? I mean, this has been on the news everywhere. And this governor, he just doesn't want to address it. He's hoping it's going to go away because he's a wuss. He's an absolute wuss who has no cojones to, actually, instill the rule of law into a bunch of crybaby teenagers who, soy boys who have taken over 6 city blocks of Seattle. It's like we have this, could this all be traced back to not spanking our kids? I believe it could be. Could this all be traced back to the Zig Ziglar and what's the other guy, Dr. Spock? Because aren't those guys against all the spanking stuff? We have gone too many generations now of not spanking our children that they have just grown up into a bunch of crybabies. And when they don't get their way, when they don't get their trophy, I don't understand this. Leave your hateful comments below. I'd love to hear them. A 6-block section of Seattle that includes the East Precinct has been taken over by Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and the communists in general who have occupied the space. They lost control of the precinct. Police officers are not able to enter. What do you mean they're not able to enter? Start mowing them down. All you got to do is drag a few bodies out of there, and this won't happen again. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Listen, this whole thing with the border, I would have shut that border down by putting the 1st Armored Division on the border. All you got to do is mow a few of them down. And the lawlessness will stop. But see, we have an issue with stopping lawlessness in this country. We have an issue because we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. We don't want to hurt people's feelings. We have this, it's a disease in this country that we can't hurt. Political correctness is a disease. We don't want to hurt. I'd say mow them down. Mow them down, drag the bodies up, and put them all in a mass grave with a dozer. That's what I'd do. And I know that seems harsh. But see, Zach, that's not very Christian. But the reality is, I mean, when you read the Bible, and let's just get into the Bible here for a second. I usually don't do this on this channel. But I mean, some Christians are such pushovers. Do we forget? Moses killed someone. Everyone thinks that makes him a murderer, but God never called him a murderer. Samuel righteously hacked a king, into pieces. Samuel, the prophet Samuel, not only did he kill the guy, he hacked him into pieces. We have become so soft and such a bunch of pushovers. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. In the meantime, the left has gotten so brutal with their, when you think about all the babies that have been just murdered in these abortion clinics, and it's just why we of America has been allowed to think that that's all normal and have participated in it. And it boggles my mind how we cannot correct things, and how many Christians would turn their nose up at reestablishing justice and reestablishing the rule of law, when the Father in the Bible and the God in the Bible is so ruthless at times to sin. Joshua was brutal. Samuel was brutal. David was absolutely horrific in his conquest against those who would turn against him in the kingdom. But we have lost that. The church has gotten so soft. Anyway, all right, rant over. Let's go back to the news. If there's anyone still listening. And now there's a warlord in charge of the security and pretty much everything else. Rapper Raz Simone and his armed crew are the only law in his area. So now they've set up this rapper, and this rapper is now the law, establishes law and order. And they're going around to businesses in the six city square block area, and they're shaking them down for money, and so that they can continue to buy food and whatever they need for it's absolutely insane. At some point, this guy here, he's the rapper who's now the law and order. This is now the law and order in this. At some point, here's the deal. The 3%, if you don't know what the 3% is, the 3% is going to show up in this city or another city, and they're going to square things away. Okay, next article. Let's move on. Director Spike Lee says some black Americans will drink orange Kool-Aid and vote for Trump in November. Actually, these people are very worried. That's one of the reasons I think this race war is completely concocted, because there's so much evidence that so many people who are black are going to vote for Trump. Trump, I think, had 9% of the black vote, and at the latest polls before all this race war stuff had started off, it was looking more like 12 and 14%, which would have been an easy win for Trump. Again, one of the reasons I think that Trump could win in a landslide, and these polls are all being set up and skewed to show that Biden is going to win in a landslide, specifically for the purpose of so the Democrat Party can claim that Trump cheated. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, but Spike Lee, he knows that there's a lot of people, a lot of black people who are going to vote for Trump. They see the difference. That Trump is actually working hard for business owners and black business owners and all Americans, no matter what the color or race. Anyway, yeah. So this is what I think is going to happen. I really believe that they're going to set this up to make it look like that he cheated, and because the polls were so skewed toward Biden's favor. Oh, VeggieTales. VeggieTales is in the news. VeggieTales creator credits his whiteness and privilege for show's success. The creator of VeggieTales, Phil Vischer, reposted to his blog this week a podcast episode from 2017 that explained how white privilege gave him opportunities that black and brown people do not have. Way back in the 1930s, the federal government decided that white families should be encouraged to own homes and black families should not. 70 years of policies encouraging and underwriting white homeownership and discouraging black homeownership have led to a profound inequitable America, he said, according to the Christian Post. The 53-year-old filmmaker went on to explain the success of his family achieved despite difficult odds. After his parents divorced, Vischer and his siblings struggled on a single-parent income. Racism in America has me examining how I tell my story, and I'm more convinced than ever that more convinced than ever that how we tell our stories matters. I have benefited from racial injustice, he said. After marrying a tradesman, my mother got her doctorate at age 50 and became a college professor. Oh, that's just so wrong. That your mom got her doctorate and became that's so wrong. Just so wrong. My brother ended up at Harvard Law and is now dean of a law school in Minnesota. Oh, just disastrous. That's just so racist. How did we work hard? Did we work hard? Yes. Well, that's usually what happens there, Vischer. When you work hard, you achieve success. Oh, my goodness. This guy's such a... I really liked VeggieTales. I really did. And they just went so crazy back in the day. And I know. Let's move on. All right. I don't give no expletive about this blank. I upload stolen expletive 365 a year. This ain't expletive. First time I did this. Facebook, silent as looters seek to sell stolen goods. So all the looters are going out to Target and wherever else, and they're stealing whatever they can steal. And then, you've seen the video of them wheeling out like 10 TVs on a cart. Well, how many TVs can you have in your house? So what are you going to do with these? These are brand new TVs. You take them home and you put them on eBay or you put them on Facebook and, And so you put them on Craigslist and you sell them and you make money. And, that's what they're doing. And Facebook's like, no problem. Although Facebook has been reluctant to publicly join sites like Twitter and Snapchat in censoring President Donald Trump, it has continued to suppress other, mostly right-wing voices during recent race riots. But the company's moral posturing appears yet again to be a one-way street. After flagging for removal legal activity it disagreed with, Facebook revealed its double standard by ignoring those who illegally sought to sell stolen merchandise, according to CBS Chicago. The CBS affiliate said it had uncovered several photos and videos on the social media site that showed people openly discussing the sale of looted goods. I just read that already. Another video broadcast via Facebook Live on Sunday, May 31st, documented looters at a local strip mall as they filled a van to the brim with contraband. It's just, again. I'd have this solved in 5 minutes. Mow them down. It's over. Because once you do it once, everyone else will stop because they don't want to die. They don't want to get mowed down. There's some things you have to do to establish law. But see, the people are we're so inundated. We just have this, mentality that you can't punish wrongdoing. You have to talk. We need to talk. We need to understand each other. Why did you do why? We need to understand the behavior rather than correcting the behavior with a hard hand. No, we just must understand and talk. That's much garbage. That's what leads to what we are seeing today. This no spanking mentality that we have in this country has led to this. Everyone must get a trophy. Everyone must be understood. We must never lift a heavy hand against wrongdoing because that's just wrong. It's cruel. Guys, yeah, I'm telling you right. Well, I'm not going to go down that road. Okay. All right. Moving on. Massachusetts churches plan to defy.
Thousands of movies and TV shows for free.
I got to get this thing to stop. There we go. They always do that. They always play an ad. Massachusetts churches plan to defy restrictions that would prevent even Jesus and the 12 disciples from gathering. Several churches in Somerville, Massachusetts plan to defy the mayor's arbitrary coronavirus restrictions on in-person services. Mayor Joseph Curtatone is requiring all places of worship to limit attendance to no more than 10 congregants. Oh, this is so insane. But see, you can riot and have thousands of people or hundreds of people in a street and going through Walmart and Target and looting it and throwing Molotov cocktails at the police departments and going to church services for George Floyd. But, oh no, we can't go to church and worship the God of heaven and earth. No. You can't do that. That's dangerous. It's insane. We have completely lost our bearing, ladies and gentlemen. Mayor Curtatone, is that his name? Restrictions on churches would prevent even Jesus and the 12 disciples from lawfully gathering in Somerville. Jeremy Dye's special counsel for litigation and communications for First Liberty Institute told Fox News in a statement, if thousands of people can peacefully protest in the streets peacefully, that's questionable, under the First Amendment, certainly churches are able to safely resume in-person religious gatherings. Curtatone did not immediately respond for a request for comment because, yes, we can't address the stupid hypocrisy that's so evident in our culture today. You can't do that. That would make me look stupid, and I need all the votes I can get. Baker's order states that no city or local authority, see, this is affecting regular people. This is why I believe that Trump's going to win in a landslide. Because so many people, they don't like the idea of these businesses being looted. They don't like the idea of churches being shut down. And they see the progressive lefts sticking up for this insanity. They're not going to, you want to know the real poll? You want to know the real poll? Go look at the gun sales. Go look at the gun sales. The gun sales in this country right now are off the charts, into the atmosphere. Because normal people who have never bought a gun before, it doesn't matter. It's like people who are homosexual, people who are African American, all the different groups out there that they try to poll are off the charts in buying firearms. Meanwhile, they know that the Democratic left, the progressive left, are absolutely against firearms, and they want to take those guns away from you. They want to take the ability for you to defend yourself and your family. That's the real poll right there. That's the real voting bloc. When you see that, Democrats are going to lose in a landslide. But see, they're posturing themselves with these polls of Biden significantly over Trump, and they're going to feed that into your brain so that when Trump wins in a landslide, because of all the insanity going on and him continuing to hold a straight line if he does so, when he wins, they'll say it was fake. They'll say it was fraud. They'll say it was stolen. But you want to know the real voter temperament in this country right now? Look at the gun sales. Off the charts. Because real people know that we need law and order. And if the police aren't going to do it, or if the police can't do it because the police right now are scared to death because their politicians won't stick up for them, their executives, their leaders won't stick up for them. People are going to have to take that into their own hands. That's why I said, you let that 6 square city blocks of Seattle stick long enough, the 3% will show up. And yeah, that could be the new Concord Bridge. Yeah, could be. We'll see. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But I think we're headed for a balkanization, civil war in this country. And we'll just have to wait and see. Scary, interesting times that we live in. I've often told people, people say, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do during all this? I don't know what you do. What I would suggest is to find a hole, get your family and crawl down in it, because empires rise and fall, and people who come out the other side are those who stay out of it. If it comes to your door, if it comes to your neighbor's door, yeah, you're going to have to get involved, just for your self-preservation. But to go out and do some of these things, I'll end with this. How long? We're in 30 minutes. Good grief. I've been talking for a long time. I'll end with this. Okay, I'll end with this. I was listening to a historian years ago, and he was saying about the Wild West. He was talking about the Wild West and how perceived wild it was. Everyone thinks the Wild West was just this crazy place, and normally we get that perception from movies, the movies that we watch on television and at the theater, things like that. But the reality is the West was pretty boring. It was only wild in a few places. Saloons, boom towns. They had that show a couple years out that came out. It was historically based with a number of characters like Thomas Durant, Ulysses S. Grant, and a few others. It's called Hell on Wheels. And Hell on Wheels was the actual name of the camp that moved along the continent to build the Transcontinental Railroad. It was called Hell on Wheels. And it was a absolutely vile, violent place to live and exist. And the stories that came out of there were amazing for making a show. Very not family-friendly show. but mostly historically accurate show. They try to be as historically accurate as possible with a lot of characters who existed, Brigham Young, a lot of different people. Anyway, those were horrible places. But if you stayed out of those places, the West was actually pretty boring and calm. It's the same thing with what you see today. If you go to these protests, chances are you might get a rubber bullet in your eye. Just might. Because rubber bullets are flying. Real bullets might be flying at some point. Molotov cocktails are flying. And so you might get burned. You might get full of pepper spray. But stay out of those places. Don't go to those places. And you might be okay. Take steps to safeguard your family. If it comes to your neighborhood, yep, defend your family. Do what you got to do. And it's just what you have to do. It is what it is at that point. But don't go to those places if they're over there. And I know there are some people who just want to go and they want a video, and then that's you going to the saloon in the Wild West. That's you going to the boomtown in the Wild West. That's you going to the Hell on Wheels type camps. And those places are dangerous, and they make the Wild West look more wild than it really was. But take the steps to safeguard your family and move away from those things. Get out of the city if you can, and try to find a way to hold up until this passes over. Empires rise and fall, but there is another side after it's all over. Okay, there will be a recovery. There will be a time of restoration of justice, hopefully. I don't think America is finished. There's too many people who value liberty and freedom for this communist takeover to succeed. And I believe that's kind of what it is, basically funded by George Soros. Okay, that's my opinion. I seriously doubt I know I'm going to get flagged on this video. So do me a favor, please hit the like button. I really appreciate that. And also, listen, stupid should hurt. It really should. And if you're like me, get a shirt and tell everyone else that stupid really ought to hurt when you do stupid. And so there's links below in the description for the Teespring shirts where you can get a stupid shirt t-shirt. So grab one of those. I appreciate it. Every purchase that you make goes to help the Homestead. Also, our Zervita Zeal. Check that out at the ad at the end of the video. Every purchase you make, it's a whole food supplement, and I love it. We've been using it now for almost almost a year. We've been using this now, almost a year, and we love it. I take it every day. So check it out, Zervita Zeal. If you sign up as a Smart Subscribe option, you will get $10 off your order. So make sure you do the Smart Subscribe on the Zervita Zeal. Just try it out. Just try it out. Try it one time, and if you don't like it, you can cancel the subscription or just cancel. Never order it again. And but then you'll know. But I want you to try it out and see if you notice a difference. Yeah, that's about it. Also, we have a gardening class that's linked in the description below. If you want to sign up for that, that will also help at the Homestead. Pretty good gardening class. If you're new to gardening, you want to learn more, sign up for that. And then I'll give you a quick plug out for Man Spray. So YouTube will probably flag this video, and so I'm trying to, make up for all that. They flag a lot of our stuff and give us trouble. I still have not gotten my YouTube play button. Haven't gotten it. We'll see if it ever shows up. I seriously doubt it will. Manspray.us, check them out and give them some support. They've always been a big supporter of our Homestead and family. And they're a good family-based business. All right, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up again. Make sure you do it. Smash the like button. Really appreciate that. See you next time on An American Homestead. Hey guys, I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more.
It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.